Lucky Broken Girl, Chapter 6. Lucky. I lean against Baba's shoulder in the back seat of the car, and she says, "Lie down, be comfortable, Shaina Madala." I feel loved like baby Rosa when I sink into her lap, and she uses those sugar words that mean beautiful girl in Yiddish. I curl my legs under me so as to not crowd Izzy and peer up at the roof of the car. The reflections of the headlights and taillights move in different directions. I am lulled to sleep by the swishing sound of the car sailing down the highway, the ride so smooth, like Baba said. I'm floating along a calm ocean. Words drift past me, Baba and Mommy talking about baby Rosa. Then everything goes still. There's no swoosh. There are no voices. I open my eyes. My head isn't on Baba's lap anymore. Baba is gone. Izzy is gone. Mommy and Poppy are gone. I am all by myself in the car. Where am I? Where is everyone? I try to get up, but I'm only wearing one go-go boot. I've lost the boot on my left leg, and my right leg is twisted weirdly. I can't move. I don't think it's my leg. It's someone else's leg. Am I dreaming? I close my eyes and try to go back to sleep, but I can't sleep because my leg hurts like nothing has ever hurt before. Out of the darkness, a man appears. He looks in through the broken windows, struggles with the lock on the back door, and finally flings it open. Who is this man? Blood is dripping from the top of his head. It's Poppy! Yes, Poppy, Poppy, why did you all leave me? Poppy, I lost one of my boots. Can we go look for it? Later, the car might catch fire. He bends and picks me up, trying to cradle my right leg in the crook of his arm. But the leg flops down like the legs of my old rag doll from Cuba. Stop, Poppy, it hurts. Calma, calma. Poppy keeps walking. And when we get to the edge of the highway, he lays me down on the ground. Mommy is there with Baba. They are holding hands and crying like little girls. Papa looks up at the sky and shouts, Dios míos! Why? 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 Izzy's head is bleeding like Papa's, but he's not in any pain. Izzy thinks we're having an adventure. He kneels next to me and says, I saw it. I saw a car flip in the divider. It turned into a torpedo. I saw it crash into the car in front of us. Then we crashed into them. Then a bunch of cars crashed into us. Bam, bam, bam. Izzy waits for me to say something. I'm quiet, so he continues. It was like a movie. It's stupid, but I feel jealous of Izzy. Why did I have to fall asleep? From somewhere in the darkness, beyond where I can see, a woman moans, Oh! The night is black and blue and purple like an ugly bruise. Who will help us? Who will take us home? In the distance, I hear a siren. The wail grows louder and louder as the ambulance comes closer. Finally, the ambulance stops right next to us. Two men jump out and take a quick look at all of us. Aki, I hear Papa say. Mahija, he stammers. The woman moans again. Oh. The men rush over to where the woman is. She's breathing, one man says, but she's tangled up in the metal. This is going to take a while. Put a splint on that girl. Take her and her family to the hospital. See if any of them can speak English. I want to shout, I speak English, but I've forgotten how to talk. The man who is supposed to attend to me says, We need another ambulance, and we need a funeral car. Why aren't the cops here by now? There's a bunch of dead people. Dead people? He comes over to me and bends down to look at my leg. He smells like a White Castle hamburger with shiny onions on top. Listen, kid, try not to move, okay? You understand? He brings out a slab of wood from the ambulance. Then he lifts my leg and uses thick tape to strap it down. It hurts like crazy. I can't hold back my tears. Come on, kid, be brave. He brings out a stretcher and sets me down on it. Are you all right? Can you help? He asks Poppy. Yes, sir. This is nothing, Poppy says, and he points to his bloody head. He and Poppy carry me to the ambulance. The man tells Poppy to sit in front with him. Mommy and Baba follow us with Izzy. They cram in around me into the back of the ambulance. Now Izzy is exhausted. He says to Mommy, Are we going home? That only makes her cry all over again. The siren blares as the man takes us away in the ambulance. The darkness of the night creeps into my heart. I think about how Poppy should have listened to Mommy and not bought the blue Oldsmobile. I want to yell, "It's your fault, Poppy, all your fault." But I just lie there and listen to Mommy repeat over and over, "Why didn't we stay in Cuba? Why didn't we stay in Cuba? Why didn't we stay in Cuba?" At the hospital, people moan and cry. There are so many of them, everyone lined up on stretchers, one after another. No one pays attention to their moans or their cries. I lie on a stretcher moaning and crying too. Mommy and Baba and Izzy and Papa stand around me like bowling pins about to topple over. There's no place for them to sit. A nurse comes over in her squeaky nurse shoes. "You can't all be here in the emergency room. It's too crowded. Go to the waiting room. I'll keep you informed of the girl's progress." They're half asleep and don't move right away. The nurse raises her voice. "Don't you people understand English?" She shoos them out the door like pesky flies. I am left alone with all the miserable people. Then there's a big commotion. "Out of the way! Out of the way! This is urgent!" They wheel in a woman on a stretcher. Her arms and legs limp, her eyes open too wide. A doctor in a white coat runs toward her and bumps into my stretcher. "It hurts! It hurts!" I stammer as loud as I can to get his attention. "Quiet, kid," he says to me. "You just got a broken leg. You're lucky. This woman here, she was in the car in front of you. She'll probably never walk again. We think she's paralyzed for life." Another doctor in a white coat finally comes and gives me an injection, and I fall asleep. When I wake up, I don't know what day it is. I'm in a hospital bed, and my right leg hangs from a strap tied to the ceiling. A nurse comes in. She snips off my underwear with a huge pair of scissors and throws the pieces in the trash. She leaves me only wearing a hospital gown. "Where are my go-go boots?" "Gone," the nurse replies. "You can't wear them anyway." "What do I do if I have to go to the bathroom?" "Call me when you need the bedpan," she says. "Press the button before you have to go, not after you wet the bed. I can only change the sheets once a day." "Where are my mommy and poppy?" I ask her. "They had to go. Now try to sleep." After she leaves, I stare at the clock, trying to make the time go faster. I can't believe I've been abandoned, left all alone in the world. I keep repeating words to myself until they become a song in my head. "No one loves me, not even my mother, not even my father, not even my brother. Nadie me quiere a mí." I've given up on ever seeing my family again when Mommy bursts through the door with Aunt Sylvie and Uncle Bill. I want to run over and give them hugs, but I can't move. Mommy comes to my bed and smooths my messy ponytails with her hand. "Mi niña, mi niña," she says in her sad voice that is sadder than ever. "Here, sit down, Rebecca," says Uncle Bill, and brings her a chair from the other side of the room. As she arranges herself on the chair, I notice Mommy has cuts and scratches all over her arms and legs. "Mommy, are you okay?" "No es nada. That's just the broken glass of the car windows. Don't worry about me, mi niña. It's you I'm worried about." "What about Poppy and Izzy?" "Poppy and Izzy got a few stitches in their heads, but they're fine." Poppy went back to work, and he made Izzy return to school. "And Baba?" "Baba is at home. She couldn't sleep last night. She's afraid another catastrophe might happen. The doctor gave her pills to calm her nerves. Poor Baba." "Don't worry, mi niña. Please don't worry." Uncle Bill comes up to my bed. "So I hear you broke a leg," he says. "Or are you pretending? How about if I untie you from this contraption and take you home?" He reaches for the strap and acts like he's pulling on it. "No, Uncle Bill, don't." He laughs. "Fooled you, didn't I?" Uncle Bill pulls a rolled up newspaper out of his back pocket. "Look, you made the front page of the Daily News. Your names are here." Uncle Bill shows me Poppy's name, Mr. Alberto Mizrahi, and Mommy's name, Mrs. Rebecca Mizrahi, and my name, Ruth, and my brother's name, Isaac, and Baba's name, Mr. Esther Galinsky. She reads aloud. "All were taken to Brookdale Hospital, where only Ruth was detained for a fractured right leg." He smiles. "So what do you think? You're famous." "Yeah, I'm famous," I say. "Famous for my stupid broken leg." Mommy gets upset. "Mi niña, don't let me hear you say that word stupid to your Uncle Bill. That's not nice." There's a sharp knock on the door. A very tall man enters. He has bushy eyebrows and big eyeglasses. "Hello, I'm Dr. Friendlick," he says. Mommy and Aunt Sylvie lower their heads. Not Uncle Bill. He looks the doctor in the eye. How long are you keeping my niece in the hospital? Dr. Friendlich replies curtly, as long as necessary. He taps my leg. I wince and he says to me, hurts, doesn't it? Then he turns back to Uncle Bill. She needs surgery, bad break to the femur. Uncle Bill shrugs. Kids break bones all the time. You'll fix her up like new, won't you? I hope so. But in medicine, there are no guarantees. I'm sorry to say. Dr. Friendlich turns away from Uncle Bill and sniffs around the bed. I realize there's a big wet circle under me. Dr. Friendlich smiles and pats my hand. A little accident, huh, young lady? Well, we'll get that taken care of right away. He pokes his head out the door. Nurse, come change the sheets. The nurse gives me a nasty look as she enters the room. She tells Dr. Friendlich, I told her to call before she needed to go. Give the child another chance. She's new to this. She'll do better tomorrow. Then Dr. Friendlich looks at us, nods, and says, goodbye for now. The nurse commands Mommy, Sylvie, and Bill, wait outside. The nurse lectures me as she pulls off the wet sheets. Learn to control yourself, Missy. I don't have time to be changing our sheets all day. Next time you have an accident, I will let you lie in it and see what's good for you. I can't believe all this is happening. Yesterday I was a normal girl. I went to the bathroom by myself. Today I can't do anything without the help of a mean nurse. Resting again on nice clean sheets, I ask her, Nurse, do you hate me especially? Or do you just hate all kids? The nurse stares at me in shock. I wonder what awful thing she will say. She's quiet for a minute and then she says, I don't hate you, Missy. I don't hate all children. I guess I'm just angry at the world. You see, I have a daughter at home who's been sick since she was born. All I want is to be with my girl and take care of her. But I have to work to support us and my mother too. Every day I leave my girl with her grandma, who can barely take care of herself, and hope they'll be okay until I get home. So I'm angry. Understand? Something happens to my heart. It cracks like the sugar crust on Mama's flan. Hearing the nurse talk to me that way. I understand, nurse. I'm really sorry. Don't be sorry. It's not your fault. I've been mean to you and that wasn't right. How about if I bring you an ice cream sandwich? Would you like that? Thank you. Okay. And please remember to ring the bell if you need the bedpan. I will, nurse, I promise. Please call me by my name. It's Neela. It's an Irish name. But my family's been here such a long time we don't remember a thing about dear old Ireland. Poor Neela, who forgot the land where she was born. I wonder if a day will come when I forget Cuba. I hope not, but it already seems so far, far away and as hard to hold on to as sea spray. The next morning, Nurse Neela brings in the bedpan and taps my shoulder to wake me up. Sorry to rush you, dear, but you need to empty your bladder now, before they take you in for surgery. After Neela leaves, two men in green uniforms arrive and wheel me into the operating room. Dr. Friendlich is there waiting for me. Hello, Ruthie, Dr. Friendlich says. We're going to give you anesthesia, and you won't feel a thing. But I don't like shots, I wail. Just close your eyes. It'll be over before you know it. When I wake up, I feel funny. I don't know if the person who has woken up is still me. I'm now crammed inside something. What is it? A box? What if I can't get out? Is it a coffin? Am I dead? I can't be dead. I see Mommy wiping tears from her eyes and Poppy is pacing back and forth. I want to cheer them up. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Poppy. I'm okay. Let's go home. Mommy lays a moist palm on my forehead. Oh, my little girl. Dr. Friendlich knocks on the door and barges in, followed by Neela. He comes straight to my bed and pulls away the sheet that's spread over me. Stop! I scream. No! I'm afraid there will be nothing to cover my private parts. I place my hands there, one over the other, to cover myself. But what is this dress I'm wearing? What is this heavy white garment that won't let me move? Silencio! Papa says. Never yell at the doctor, mijita. Poppy lifts his chin to gaze up at Dr. Friendlich. Doctor? Dr. Friendlich is so tall he's used to looking down at everyone. Yes? I can tell Poppy is struggling to find the right words. He's sweating and wiping his forehead with a white handkerchief that Mommy has starched and ironed for him. Why did you make my daughter into a mummy? I'm sorry, Mr. Mizrazi. Dr. Friedlich says, we had to put your daughter in a body cast. She's growing. We want to prevent one leg from ending up shorter than the other. We hope it will work. A body cast? So that's why both legs are locked away and my tummy and hips are also locked away. The plaster reaches to my chest and around my back. I'm a mummy, but I'm not dead. Get her a pillow, nurse, Dr. Friedlich says. Mila lifts my head and tucks the pillow under my neck. Now I can see my toes. They stick out of the cast. My 10 toes. I can't wiggle them. I can't move anything except my head, my shoulders, and my arms. And I have an opening in front and another in back for me to be able to pee and poop. My legs are spread apart and there's a pole between them like the letter A. Dr. Friendlich turns to Mommy. The nurse will show you how to use the pole. You'll be able to turn your daughter on her stomach so she can sleep. You'll need to wash her without getting the cast wet. The nurse will show you how to lift her so she can use the bedpan. Other than that, do not move her. Mommy nods and pretends to understand. I listen carefully. I'll have to explain it all to her later in Spanish. How long will she be a mummy? Poppy asks. We don't know, Dr. Friendlich replies. Probably about 6 months. Poppy's forehead is creased with worry lines. My daughter, she will walk, or will she will not walk? Dr. Friedlich pats me on the head. You want to walk, Ruthie, don't you? Yes, doctor, I whisper. Then you will walk, Dr. Friendlich says. He pats my head again. To Poppy, he says, give it time. Dr. Friendlich spreads the sheet over me. I look through his large glasses and into his eyes. He's gazing at me with kindness and also with sadness. Young lady, pray to God and all the saints and your guardian angels. That night I lay in my hospital bed all alone, without my mother, without my father, without my brother, without my family, without a friend. I do as the doctor says, and I make up a prayer. Dear God, I come from Cuba to start a new life in the United States of America. I begged for go-go boots and got them. I shouldn't have asked for them. I was showing off too much. I shouldn't have been so proud to be Miss Hopscotch Queen of Queens. I must have done a lot of bad things to end up like this in a body cast. My leg is fractured, but all of me broke. Who put me together again? And I know I'm lucky. I'm not as broken as some other people. I promise to be good for the rest of my life if you listen to my prayer and make me well again. I promise I will commiserate with broken people all over the whole wide world from now and forever. Thank you, Ruthie. And that's the end of the chapter. Part 2, My Bed is My Island. Chapter 7, A Baby in Diapers Again. After a week in the hospital, Dr. Friendlich says I'm ready to go home. Early in the morning, Mommy and Poppy come to pick me up. 2 men named Bobby and Clay strap me to a stretcher and take me outside. I am so happy to see the sun again, and the clouds in the sky like shag-wool rugs and people who aren't sick. Is that a bird singing, I say? Yes, child. It took a while, but spring has finally decided to grace us with its presence, Clay replies. He has a kind and lilting voice. You don't talk like they do in New York. Where are you from? I'm from down south, from Mississippi, where they say the living is easy, but not so much for a man with black skin. I came to New York and I'm never going back. Clay smiles and pats my head. Now everyone pats my head. Then he slides me into the back of the ambulance as if shutting a drawer. Bobby says, What do you think, Ruth? We'll turn on the siren real loud and watch everyone scoot out of our way. Won't that be lots of fun? Bobby has red hair that glows in the sun like a light bulb. Yeah, lots of fun, I reply to be polite, even though I'm frightened by the siren's mournful wail. Poppy sits in front with the men. Mommy is crouched on the rickety bench next to me. Off we go, the ambulance racing past yellow and red lights. Mommy clutches the window handle. Ay, Dios mío, what if we get into another car accident? I try to be funny. Nothing to worry about, Mommy. We're already in an ambulance. Pooh-pooh, Mommy says. Don't joke. The ambulance stops and the wailing siren clicks off. Clay pulls open the door and gives Mommy a hand getting down. Then Bobby comes around, and between him and Clay, they slide me out of the ambulance and carry me on the stretcher. Aunt Sylvie and Uncle Bill are waiting outside. Izzy and Dennis and Lily come running with all the kids from the neighborhood. Bobby and Clay were right. Returning home in an ambulance with the siren on is fun. Except that Danielle is standing on the hopscotch board in her go-go boots. Why doesn't she come over and say something? Ava and June and the other kids all crowd around. Ruthie, Ruthie! They demand, show us your cast. Come on, let's see your cast. And they draw closer to me until I can smell their sweat from playing hard in the sun. I feel nervous. I don't want to be here. but I'm unable to move or run away. Later, okay? I tell them. I'll let you sign it then. We want to see it now. Now, now, now. Lily comes and tugs on the blanket like it's a game. Stop it! I scream. No! I only have on an undershirt and a blouse. Below the blouse, I'm covered by a sheet and a blanket. I can't wear underwear. It doesn't fit over the cast. I will die of embarrassment if they see me naked. Fortunately, Bobby waves his hands, shooing the kids away. We have to get Ruthie home. Get her settled. Kids, how about you run and play? Another day you'll visit Ruthie. The kids wait, watching. They're all curious. In his booming voice, Uncle Bill shouts, You heard what he said. Get going. Go on, scram. Finally, the kids scurry off, except for Izzy. You can stay. You're her brother, Uncle Bill says, but don't act wild. Okay, Izzy says. He steps next to the stretcher, looking at me as if I were not his sister, but some kind of strange bug. Bobby leads the way to the entrance of the building. Aunt Sylvia puts an arm around Mommy. Uncle Bill takes Izzy's hand. We don't all fit in the elevator. Clay, Bobby, me, Mommy, and Sylvie squeeze in tight. We'll race you, Izzy says. Izzy, Poppy, and Uncle Bill take the stairs up to the 6th floor. When the elevator opens on our floor, Izzy is already there panting. Clay and Bobby cross through the dining room into the living room and take me down the hall to the bedroom. They whisk me off the stretcher and lift me down slowly into my bed. After white sheets at the hospital, I am glad to see my colorful sheets decorated with yellow and orange marigolds. Darlin', you take it easy now, you hear? Clay says. Bobby adds, Bye, kid. But wait, who will move me from place to place once you two are gone? Bobby looks back at me and shakes his head. The doctor says you're not to be moved for a while. Your parents can turn you on your stomach with a pole, but that's it. You need to lie still. We'll be back when it's time to change your cast. See you then. Bye now. As Clay and Bobby go out the front door, Izzy comes running in with a package of Chips Ahoy. Hey, Woofy, you want a chocolate chip cookie? Mommy snatches the package from him. Only one cookie a week for your sister. She can't gain weight or she won't fit into the cast. It's okay, I don't want any. I'm not hungry, I say, but I gotta pee. How are you gonna pee? Izzy says. Just get out of the room, I yell. Don't you dare come back till I say the coast is clear. Why are you screaming at your brother? Mommy says. He's a little boy. He doesn't know. She leaves and comes back with the shiny new bedpan and a roll of toilet paper. She lifts me with the pole the way the nurse showed her and slides the bedpan under my backside. The bedpan is ice cold. It's made of steel. I pee a lot. Okay, I'm done, I yell, and Mommy comes running back. I dry myself with toilet paper, roll the wet toilet paper in some unused toilet paper, and hand it to Mommy. She lifts me and grabs the bedpan, trying not to spill the pee all over the bed. From now on, every time I need to pee, Mommy will have to help me. When I poop, too. Just like the other day, I felt so grown up in my go-go boots, and now I'm like a baby in diapers again.